Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on Pixar's Turning Red, heading straight to Disney Plus. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So Disney made a last minute announcement on Friday night where they have said that the upcoming Pixar movie Turning Red is going to be heading straight to Disney Plus on Friday the 11th of March 2022. Turning Red is about a 13-year-old girl who ends up becoming a giant great big red panda when she gets excited, and I think this is generally going to be a term for puberty, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So this movie is actually now going to be the third movie that's headed straight to Disney Plus from Pixar. You can almost nearly count it to be the fourth because Onward also had a similar problem because it only had about a week or so before all the cinemas shut down. Disney's Media and Entertainment Distribution Chairman Kareem Daniel went on to say in a statement, Disney Plus subscribers around the world enthusiastically embraced Pixar's Academy Award-winning Soul and the critically acclaimed Luca when they premiered exclusively on the service, and we look forward to bringing Pixar's next incredible film, Turning Red. Given the delayed box office recovery, particularly for family films, flexibility remains at the core of our distribution decisions as we prioritise delivering the unparalleled content of the Walt Disney Company to audiences around the world. In international markets where Disney Plus is not available, it will still be released in cinemas, but as more countries are getting Disney Plus, that's pretty much most of the world. But it's important to note really that this reaction had a little bit of a backlash. A lot of people are upset about the movie not coming to cinemas because, they are supporting cinemas. They also, more importantly, aren't so keen on Pixar having their third movie sent straight to Disney Plus, since both previous Walt Disney Animation Studios films weren't. Raya and the Last Dragon got a cinema and also a premiere access, while Encanto had a 30-day theatre exclusive before it got released on Disney Plus on Christmas Eve. The counter argument to that obviously is both Soul and Luca were massive hits for Disney Plus. They were watched by so many people. How many people signed up, how many people stayed is more importantly with those releases. But also they've seen the reaction to what happened when both Raya and the Last Dragon and Encanto were available to all subscribers, how much more engagement they got, how many more people were watching it. But it's not just that with Disney movies. Unlike sort of Netflix movies where it's just about that initial week, Disney have a long tail. We have things like the merchandise, you have the theme parks, you have the cruise lines, you have everything that goes alongside it, along with sequels and other projects. So Disney kind of continue to make money. And also, more importantly, how many kids are still watching those movies week after week after week? And that's something that Disney are very much aware of. You only have to look at the Nielsen streaming chart every single week to see that kids are just watching Disney movies on Disney Plus over and over again. And that's what the value is. So it's very, very tricky. I know it's a very iffy situation right now with the pandemic. There's a lot of families as well that don't want to go to the cinema. There's a lot of people that don't want to go. So this is kind of, in some ways, the best way of kind of keeping things moving without completely messing up the schedule. Disney have got a lot of movies coming out later this year, and if they keep pushing things back, it gets in the way and moves other things around. Also, other studios are grabbing other dates. So it's just a very hectic 2022 with all the delays we've had over the last 2 years. Also with animated movies, it's important to note that they are much less impacted by the pandemic because so many more people can work from home still making them. That's why those movies have continued to be made. Whereas with a live action one, if someone gets it or something like that, everything just sort of shuts down or it's been shut down for months. So there's a little bit of a backlog in terms of the live action stuff. So they have much less of an issue going forward with these movies from the animated studios. Another key thing as well is by making this decision now, they've saved themselves a lot of money in terms of advertising. And speaking of advertising, I kind of was expecting this anyway because none of the promotion for Turning Red ever stated that it was in cinemas. It was always just, it's coming out on this date, no mention of exclusive, no mention of cinemas or theatres at all. And that's kind of led to this idea of doing it. This isn't the only studio to be doing this. We've already seen a number of other movies being pushed back. We saw Morbius being pushed back by Sony by a few months. We've seen some other movies heading over to streaming services and just being pushed back. Ultimately, it's just, we aren't where we all thought we were going to be. We all thought everything was going to be better, but unfortunately things are not moving in that same way. And Disney are just kind of going to continue on with this trend. It is obviously bad for Pixar staff that feel like they're maybe being underutilized, but for me, I would say, getting this content out on Disney Plus to millions and millions of fans in just over 2 months' time, that is going to be the key thing. You're going to have lots of families sitting around watching this movie and enjoying it, enjoying the work, and being safe, and that's ultimately the key thing right now. You know, is this is just for the best, probably for everyone. Not so good for theatre chains, but everything else, you know, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, what you think about this whole situation. But anyway, guys, go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters. I'd like to thank all of our Patreon and YouTube channel members for their support. You can become a member from as little as $2 a month, and you get access to our weekly Q&A and much more.